This episode of Truth Table is brought to you by our NAACP Image Award nominated book, Truth Table, Black Women's Musings on Life, Love, and Liberation. Get it where all books are sold.
Sisters, how y'all feel? Brothers, y'all all right? If this is your first time at Truth Table, welcome to the table. And if you've been sitting at the table with us all these years, we are so grateful that you have been listening to us through these years, and we are inviting you to partner with us and support our work at patreon.com/truthstable. Now pull up a chair and have a seat at the table with us. Hey y'all, welcome to Truth Table, Midwives of Culture for Grace and Truth. I'm Ekemini.
And I'm Christina.
This table is built by Black women and for Black women. So welcome to the table, C. How you doing, girl?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
All right.
Ditto to that. Word up. Well, I don't know what the people say now. What are they saying? I don't know. I don't know what they're saying.
We're tired. Everybody's tired. The youngins is tired. The oldies is tired. I mean, my God.
Well, there's a thing
Everybody's
happening
tired.
in the world called crisis. So, yes. How are you doing on a happier note?
Oh, I'm great.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling rejuvenated after eating.
There you go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the importance of nutrition.
Yeah, grateful for a full belly, guys.
Listen, hello. So we do need to eat well. We need to sleep well. We need to live well. And that's why today, what are we going to be talking about?
Rest and rejuvenation.
My goodness.
Oh, no, actually, that's not what we're Rest and regimen. All the above. Wellness. Wellness.
Every appropriate R word.
Overall wellness.
Yes.
Right? Wellness. And so, yeah, all the things.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So before we even came on the line, we were talking about how, this year has been busy.
Yeah.
Busy. Just a lot. I have traveled a lot.
It's a lot going on.
I know you have traveled a lot. It feels like I traveled quite a bit last year too, but it feels like I traveled much more. And so I'm not going to lie. We're doing this episode, but also it is to also preach to ourselves too. Because I'm actually usually pretty good about carving out rest. Mm-hmm. And we know that rest is important because even our thrice holy God rested, right? Mm-hmm. After he had created the world. And so I don't usually struggle with fitting that in, but it has been a struggle this year. There are a lot of some of my events, family events, on top of work events have kind of spilled over into my weekends. And I be holding my weekends. Mm-hmm. I try, but it's been harder this year, so that's kind of, that has been an area of struggle, but resting is really, really important in order to just rest my brain, be able to do the things I want to be able to do, have the energy and capacity to run Monday through Friday. Not to say we ain't running the other days, but Monday through Friday is like, that's the work week right there. So I really tried.
Some boundaries.
Yeah, I tried to have some boundaries, but this year I have been struggling a bit with that. I don't know, how about you? Rest for you this in 2024.
It's been a weird year. I mean, it started off
halfway through now.
Right? Hello.
Wow.
But it started off, I remember when it first kicked off, we were like, why is January lasting so long? Like the year went long. To me, it felt like it was like January slow motion.
That's right.
And now I'm like, yikes. We're at the midpoint of the year.
I know.
Like,
just got that revelation.
We're moving. Yeah. Before you know it, it's going to be my favorite time of the year,
That's
Christmas time, So, I don't know. It's been moving fast. Yeah, there's a lot of busyness. There's a lot of transition. There's a lot of life happening. So, yeah. And I think I do try to set up boundaries to some extent, but it's different working when you don't work in an office building. So I used to work, most of my work up until the last few years ago was I went to work. Work was a place that I went to. And I went to my office or whatever I was doing, my classroom, my therapy room, whatever. And so I actually think that sometimes when you are working in a different way, like contractually or entrepreneurially, it actually creates a temptation for less boundaries in your work. But to your point about like the weekends, I'm that way about night. Like I shut it down at night, like at 9 o'clock, 9:30. I don't really care what's happening.
She's like you ain't got to go home, but you do got to go home.
Yeah, I'm like, well, you can stay in the house, but I'm going to go to my room. Good night. I do shut it down.
She will dip.
I do shut it down at night. I don't play about that.
Yeah, you do.
So that is where, like, I think I think whereas some people might, work throughout the night, or they're getting up in the middle of the night, or they can't sleep well through the night. For the most part, unless I'm not well, I have always been able to sleep through the night and that kind of thing since a young child. Won't play about that in this house. But so some people are like up in the wee hours of the night. And so they really look to like vacation and things like that to rest.
That's the time, yeah.
But I'm like a daily rest, unwind kind of thing. Like sleep takes hold of me. So are there things this year that you feel like are getting in the way of your usual kind of rest regimen?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think work and which sounds terrible. I'm like family. No, I've just had a lot of I've had a lot of family events.
Yeah, community, family,
and more coming. And then, but also work. And it is which, and don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
this is the work that don't pay.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's the one that takes up the most time.
Yeah,
and so that's been like whoo.
Yeah,
but it's important, right? It's, at least for me, I think it's important work. So that's why I'll make the sacrifice and do what needs to be done there. But golly, it has been a bit of a struggle. I still try to hold boundaries on Sunday.
Sure.
I do. I'm like, I mean, so even when I travel, I try to get back, get back home, Saturday, so I can go to church on Sunday. As much as I try not to miss Sundays.
Yeah.
As much as I possibly can. Sometimes you just can't avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to keep some of my extra curricular ministry commitments too. For instance, I've been so busy the last 2 weeks, I haven't been able to do the prayer line. I pray on the prayer line on Tuesday mornings. And so, and I'm like, and I feel bad with it. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, y'all, I can't do it because I have this. These, they're important things that I'm doing. But I'm like, I just don't, I really like to keep my, this, I'm very dutiful. I really try to keep my
Indeed you do.
Yeah, I try to keep my commitments. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And so, but it is also summer.
Yeah.
Where you head into summer. So that's always a very fluid time with regard to schedules. And so I think that people understand that. But yeah, it's just been, I don't know. I just haven't been able to hold as many boundaries in the way that I like to.
Yeah.
On my work. And I suspect this is just a season, but it's not sustainable. So it can't continue on. Lord, please.
Yeah.
But I think it just happens to just be a busy year in that way. And it is an election year. Right? So that
just in case you weren't aware.
It is an election year. So in our line of work, my public the other day, that is busy.
Oh, yes.
It is busy. I don't know what next year holds, But yeah, that's been. Now I do have regimens, though. Yes, I am a regimented person.
Come on,
okay,
come on, military.
My regiment as much as I can, as much as I possibly can. And so I bedtime. I don't. Yeah, I try not to. I don't know. It's been again a little fluid, but I try not to play on that because I get up so early in the morning to work out. So I'm in the gym at like 5 a.m. and working it out. And then even when you talk about skincare, I don't play about that.
Hey,
I wash.
Skin is really important.
Skin health. Skin is really
the sun is sunning.
I don't play. When I'm back at home, I also like being at home because there's a way for me to reset. It's like, okay, cooking my own food, drinking my 96 ounces of water.
Come on, 96 ounces of water.
I gotta get my water in. I gotta wash my face. I mean, I don't know if y'all want to know my whole regimen because it is a thing, but I don't play about it. Just know, I wash this face, double cleanse, spritz with rose water, aloe vera gel, dry snail mucin. Listen,
that rose water gave me like an allergic reaction, so I can't do rose water anymore.
Okay, yeah.
My allergies are too strong. I love how it smells, but I had like a whole. I was like, I'm gonna be like the cool kids and use this rose water, and I was like, I'm having an asthma attack.
Oh. What was the brand though?
Oh, I don't recall.
Heritage Store is pretty authentic, but so other
well, the more authentic it is, the more issue it would be for me because it's like it would be like me going out and taking a flower and it's like sticking up my nose.
Oh, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah,
so but I do believe in trying to taking care of myself. I think that in this day of age of filters
Yeah.
And fillers. And I'm not coming for anybody that, you know, is using fillers and filters. What I don't have like a strong.
I don't know.
I haven't really thought about it.
I don't know if I really know how to use filters well.
On phones and stuff. Yeah,
no,
I actually don't. I know. I try to tell people, I don't use filters.
Well, I don't know how to use them.
I don't use filters.
Like this is what I think so. I mean, I feel like
what you get.
They're like those little face choices that you can slide.
Yeah, I think
these all seem a little weird to me. I don't know.
Oh yes, it's weird. I look weird. I feel like
it's another person.
Your irises get bigger. Well,
it makes
your nose gets smaller.
It makes you like Disney-fied. It gives you like a Disney princess look because it's the big eyes and there's science behind like the big eye.
I'm not a fan
thing, but yeah, well,
for me,
it's
not for me.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah. What about you? Your regimens? Yeah. Do you have a regimen?
Do I? He's like, does she have a regimen?
I know. I was like, do you?
You know, I am not as faithful to a specific regimen. Like there are things that I like to try. I do notice that like my hair, my skin, like I cannot just like stick with a product and that's the end of it. Like I have to do a reboot. Like I have to, like if I have like a shampoo that I love.
That's true. I recommended a shampoo. Yeah. And then you started moving on to another one. I was like, well, what? Not me taking it personal. I was like, this is a very good shampoo.
It's very important to you. I actually just shared it with someone. No, actually, it's a good shampoo. It's a solid shampoo. So I will try some different things here and there. My skincare. So my youngest daughter is like my
skincare.
She's like my skincare beauty girl. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't keep up. You know, so we'll go to like one of the stores and I'm like, well, what is it that I need? And she's like, you need this, you need that, you know, or whatever, like, you know, because I need these things. But it's also a part of something that I can do with her, an activity that she really likes. So I don't necessarily think that I would be in there like, you know, spending all this money on skincare. But I know it's something that she enjoys. And so we kind of do that together. Mm-hmm. But I love my aloe vera and cucumber mist spray.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Keep my face hydrated. Yes. And all the different kind of like, what is it? The acids that you use.
Hyaluronic acid.
Yes. And really, I have very dry skin.
Yeah.
So I take skin moisturizing seriously. Mm-hmm. You know, we probably all should be using Crisco on our skin, actually, to be honest.
Not Crisco.
Yeah, I'll never forget being in class. I had a womanist sociology professor who was who spent every class getting us together. But I remember she would tell these really great stories about like her grandmother and her mom and her family. And anyway, speaking of Crisco, she had a whole story about how she would find herself, you know, spending all this money, and we're tempted to spend all this money on these different, you know, regimens.
Listen.
And she was like, you know, her grandmother would kind of rub this pomade in this lovely container on her hand. And she was like, oh, grandma, what's that? It smells so good. And she was like, oh, baby, that's Crisco. I just put it in another container and added some drops of perfume. But when I think about just like, lard probably would keep you well moisturized, you know? So listen, all that to say is I am definitely spending more money than Crisco on my lotions and on the regimen or whatever, and trying to bring back the years that COVID and the cankerworm ate away.
Now, you know I believe in the oily face at night.
Yes. You've talked about this.
I don't play about it. I used to use vitamin E for years from Trader Joe's.
Yes.
And then I recently switched last year to organic castor oil. Actually.
Oh.
I know. People are like, what?
People are serious about the castor oil right now.
Yeah.
Especially like the Jamaican castor oil.
I am. No, I don't put that on my face. That's for the hair.
Yes, but I do use that in my hair.
Organic. I think it's hexane free. It has to come in a glass bottle.
Wow, it has to come in a glass bottle.
I don't know what the science is behind. There's something about castor oil and plastic. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, one of the tips. So I was like, okay. Because I am the person that will, if there's a new trend, I will try it.
Okay.
Just like celery juice. I've been drinking celery juice since 2017.
Let me tell you something. Respect the celery juice. Respect it.
Great for your blood pressure. Great for blood flow. Very good for you.
Yeah. It's really good for your skin too.
Really good for your skin. Mm-hmm. Very important, y'all. So make these investments.
Welcome to Truth Table. Promote celery juice, and also talk to your doctor.
Oh yes, do talk to your doctor. Exactly. We need a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Carry on. Do that. And so I do believe in an oily face at night. Keeps the face nice and moisturized.
Yes.
It's not dry. You know, keeps all the wrinkles at bay. I don't have that. My mom has really good skin, so I'm just like, I think some genetics is gonna work is working in my favor here. I mean, she does
Yet hold on.
My mom does not wash her face at night like that. That's just not what she wash in the morning and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Skin, she doesn't have to shave. She has no hair on her legs. I was like, my God.
Wow.
Yeah. How does it feel to be God's favorite? I don't know. Literally, she has smooth. I mean, literally, there's like no hair on her arms, no hair on her legs. Her skin, you see my mom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
she glows.
I mean, really, she does not do. I was like,
she's a peaceful woman.
What in the world?
She's peaceful.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I don't have that. I have to wash. Okay, I've been clean and clear in high school was what it was.
Oh wow.
Oh,
clean and clear was too strong for me.
Taking it back. Well, I had acne issues when I was in high school.
Gotcha.
Yep, acne.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. Did you have oilier skin?
I had oilier skin. I did not drink water. I drank soda like water.
Oh, well, so
there's that. But you know, that back then water wasn't a thing for us. Remember that? I was like, all of a sudden the kids, kids drink water.
I don't know who started the water movement.
I mean, it's important.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't remember drinking water as a kid.
It's a thing.
Truthfully, I don't.
No.
I was like, that's great.
We did everything we could not to drink water.
We had a little water fountain too.
It was like, why would we want soda? We want juice.
Tampico.
Oh man, Sunny D or whatever people had.
Tampico. Oh my gosh,
Kool-Aid. Yeah. Yes. The drinks that are not good for your skin, the food dye, the sugar.
All the things.
Yeah. I mean, it's somewhere along the way, 30 years ago, it was like, you really should drink a lot of water. And then I would say like 10 years ago, it was like, you should not eat sugar or you will die.
Oh my goodness. I
feel like the message has started
going. So, my goodness.
No.
Well, they say it's addictive like a drug.
Honestly,
it's
100%.
I can attest.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's similar. If you look at the brain under the influence of certain substances and also under influence of sugar, it's very comparable.
What a trip.
It is a drug. And you know, they sprinkle, some people sprinkle it in everything. There's spaghetti sauce, you name it.
I know.
A little sugar goes a long way.
My goodness. So yeah, anyway, well, let's take a quick commercial break.
Watch out for sugar.
Watch out for the sugar. So we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be back talking about rest and regimens and all the things. Don't go nowhere. Be back.
Our NAACP Image Award nominated book, Truth Table, Black Women's Musings on Life, Love, and Liberation, is making waves and shifting culture. I closed this book feeling like I had just partaken in a multi-course meal, filled with grace and the courage to carry on. And I believe you'll finish this book feeling the same way. Morgan Harper Nichols, artist and poet. Buy Truth Table, Black Women's Musings on Life, Love, and Liberation at our website or wherever books are sold.
And we are back at the table talking about rest and regimen. Talking about how we about to fall asleep in a minute because we need naps. Anyway, you know what? That is actually a regimen I have fallen out of.
Oh, taking naps?
Yes, because during the pandemic, I was with family and, and they were small little ones and, ain't no rest for the weary when you're around with little tots.
Yeah.
Okay. But
unless you rest when they rest, if you can pull that off.
But these kids, they don't be napping.
That's what people say.
But they don't be napping.
People say that in theory, but I understand that's hard to practice. Trust
And they don't
me.
be napping. So you're like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, I'm not going to sleep. Yeah. So I used to have an after church nap. I haven't had that in a long while. I got to get back to that. Yeah. Because that was so restorative.
Is that because you're choosing brunch? Like, are you doing something else after church?
Gosh, sometimes it varies. Yeah, after church, or sometimes it's because I've traveled or something. So it's like, come back and do laundry. I had to clean. I don't like to do that type of. That's more for me. Is more of a Saturday thing.
Yeah,
or even a Friday night thing. I like to do that when I'm washing hair. Like I just This is gonna be the day. Yeah, of all the things. So that maybe Saturday and Sunday can just be rest, but it's just been kind of spilling over. But
yeah,
we're gonna level set after this episode.
Yeah,
there's too much.
I mean, the only day that I'm likely to take a nap on is Sunday.
That's fine.
If I take a nap, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
And Sunday.
The glory cloud rests upon us.
Is that what it is? The
when
Lord
we take a nap
says,
on Sundays.
My child, rest
That's
my
right.
child.
Shekinah.
But yeah, I mean, so people who serve in the church, if you're, Sunday takes on a whole new
meaning.
Life of us. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when I get to go to a service where it's just like when we visit other churches and things like that, I'm like, my goodness, is this what how the regular people feel?
Yeah, that's nice.
That's why when people are like, oh, church is a lot. I'm like, and I guess from an emotional standpoint, you've had issues with it. But from the standpoint of like people who serve the church, I'm like, trust me,
different.
It's a lot going on behind the scenes. And so usually when we get home, like crash nap time is what happens.
Yes. Okay.
But I don't typically nap any other time. I'm pretty serious about like when I'm in my working hours, I'm working. Like I'm moving, I'm creating, I'm in meetings, I'm writing or whatever. And then I would say that throughout the day, I have different time zones that are designated for different types of work.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if I'm writing or creating, things that require the most like brain energy, technical skill are the earliest hours of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, that's as early as 6:30 a.m.
Oh, 6:30.
Yeah. If not earlier, there's some times where I may be up at 5. But if I want to write, create, build, it is early morning. Everything is silent. The sun is kind of coming up. And that's when my brain is really active to be able to create that. Like when we get to the later points of the day, midday is like meetings, and then towards the end of the day, I'm really no good. Like that's when we're like, okay, let's do our to-do list that's left over that didn't get accomplished or things that are next to go. But I never need to reverse those things.
Yeah.
Like when people are kind of like, well, let's create at 5 p.m. No, let's not create at 5 p.m. Let's create at 5 a.m. So that's important to me. And then when the evening comes, I'm really I try to be free.
Yeah, I don't really like evening.
I'm just
I'm already tired by then and whatnot. But it depends. My days, I wish I had my days a little bit more structured like that, but it's not quite structured in that way. It's kind of like, let me check this one, let me check that one.
Yeah.
Do this. I kind of jump in and out of different things.
Yeah.
As I remember, I gotta do that. I need to send this. I need to, sometimes that's just kind of how it works. I wish it was a little bit more.
Yeah. My best thinking, my best like concentrated, like creative thinking from scratch is early morning.
Yeah.
Is early morning. If I've got to write something, build something, it needs to be early morning. But some of that also came from like thinking about other people, like famous writers, like inspirational writers, like a Toni Morrison. I mean, like, and people who also have had to carve out a part of their day or carve out the way they do things. So they know like, okay, the world is coming for me at 10 a.m., at 9 a.m. Like my time is not my own. So what I want to accomplish, I need to accomplish early morning.
I think it depends on the stage of life too. If you're a mother and a wife, it's like, wait a minute, you got other people you got to consider too. So so that totally makes sense. To me. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about hair though again.
A little bit. And y'all should pray for my hair.
It's been protective style.
And maybe you'll see it one of these days soon. Maybe you'll see it again.
Oh, maybe they have. I guess maybe they haven't.
They haven't seen my real hair in a long time.
I have.
They used to only see my real hair.
Well, last time we talked about hair I was like, wash and goes are not for me. And now
look, you better embrace it.
I'm wearing wash and goes.
First of all, wash and goes are for everyone.
But it ain't it is still not a wash and go. It takes me about 90 minutes.
Yeah, to do you're not going. You're wash and waiting and then go.
Yeah, it is still a process, but it is a once a week process. Really the long and short of it was just like, okay, I'm a couple of things actually.
Come on,
we probably do a whole episode about Black women and their edges.
My.
Because listen, that's the thing. We need an expert actually, a trichologist to come. Onto the show about that. But anyway,
and then we'll have oil and pray for our edges.
That's right. Come on, we'll fix it. And so but I was like, at the beginning of the year, I was like, you know what? I really want to, embrace my curls. Look at my curl pattern. I've been natural since 2011. Mm-hmm. Yeah, since about 2011.
Yeah.
But blowout, twist out, doing all types of different protective styles, right? And then sometimes, occasionally braids, not often, because of the edge struggle. So, but I was like, this year, I was like, you know what? Why don't I try to embrace my curls?
Yeah.
And try to do this method from Black Girl Curls on Instagram. So kind of join. Yeah, I was like, let me join their See Some Curls community and whatnot. And I did. They paid their annual fee and it was a nice little Christmas discount.
Well,
and I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm gonna start in January. I'm regimented like that. Start in
January. That is a theme.
Yeah, I'm very much start on Monday. Start January. So I'm not start now. No, I'm like, no.
Listen, Ekemini decency and order.
Decency and order. I'm like, no.
Right.
And so anyway, but I was like, and I'm going to rarely wear my hair for the majority of this year. I mean, I'm never going to let go of the units and the clip-ins. I mean, those are always going to make a cameo here and there. But I was like, for the majority of this year,
cameo.
Majority of this year, I'm going to wear my curls. And so I've been doing that since January. And since then, I've been trying to grow my edges back as well. Yeah. Because, tight ponytails, braids. Yeah, those are the two culprits. Yeah. So anyways, that's always been like a bit of a struggle. Like, oh my gosh, my edges. Yeah. I know this is relatable content for the Black woman. And so I was like, okay, what does it mean to just kind of leave it? Yeah. Do some concentrated work, on the edges. And do you know the edges have been growing back?
Come on now.
I've sent you my photographic evidence, and I have been wearing my curls, and since
because the natural state of our hair is probably the best state for it to be in. And you have to wash your hair every 7 to 10 days. Yes.
Which I was doing more so every other week. That's how I used to do it, right?
Yeah.
But, the more you do it, the quicker you get, you get a little bit quicker. Your hair, is more hydrated, more moisturized, all these things. So, and then it shrinks up later. This might be day. Okay. So what is it? Is it Thursday? Okay. This is day 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm day 6 here. So I don't really do much. Sometimes I'll add a little bit more mousse def. Shout out to the dough. The Dew. I'm sorry. The Dew. Their products are awesome. DOUX. So I'll sometimes, fluff it up a little bit, crank it a little bit. But I like it. You just kind of shake it.
Yeah.
Make it do what it do and go. And I'll be washing the hair on Saturday.
Listen, when I return home. I know. I was a wash and go woman before it was cool.
Yes, you are. So don't let the shrinkage fool you. The hair it's
long.
It's there.
It's long.
I get a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
With this hair. So people think my hair is I'm like, I get a 2-for-1. It works for me.
There you go.
But I'm like,
you can stretch
or 3-for-1 too. Because when I first wash it, it's you notice the difference, right? From day one to like now. But
yeah. And over time it kind of stretches out. I mean, but most of my life I've had natural hair. It's probably easier for me to count the years that I had a relaxer than it would be to count the years that I have not. But I would say like COVID and just life and sickness and other things just jacked up my hair a bit.
It changes the priorities.
And I also got my hair color treated, which is not something I typically do.
Yes, you did.
And because I wanted to be blonde.
Because they have more fun.
Well, and there's consequences for not being yourself.
Well, you had highlights. It wasn't. You didn't go full.
I would never. I mean, I would get a wig. I mean, I just feel like if you're gonna do a full color job, I'm like, let's just go get a wig.
But see, your mother-in-law, she rocking.
Yeah, she's good and grown. She's good and grown. When that age range, you just do what you want to do.
It looks so good.
But also, if you're getting white hair too, like going from white to platinum is, it might be a real good call to make, So anyway, so I did all that jazz to my hair, and I don't typically prefer to wear my hair straight. I don't typically prefer to wear my hair straight.
You don't.
But I will, especially if it needs to get a good trim or something like that every once in a while. But I had started straightening it more, and it became really easy for me to straighten my own hair. So it was kind of like, when in doubt, I could just straighten it. And then it changed textures. And I was like, wait a minute, now I can't get it back.
No, he's damaged. It's no joke.
I was like, what have I done?
Be careful, sister.
So I had an option to just like cut it all off, which still could happen, I mean, I'm a person who has cut all my hair off before. Most people probably
I've done
that don't know. I mean, if you don't know me outside of the world of Truth Table, you wouldn't know that. But I've had like 1-inch long hair. I've had any hairstyle that you could imagine, with the exception of locks, which I'm still thinking about getting. I have probably had all kinds of hair colors, all the things. I'm born and raised Baltimore. We don't play about hair. But I'm hoping that when I take these braids out, that the girls have come back. The curls have come back.
Oh, sure. I think they were already on their way back.
Yeah, they were on their way back. I'm going to get a trim then we're going to see. And my wash and go is...
After my shampoo recommendations.
Yes, because you need to do what Ekemini says. But you see that? You see the eyes are not playing games. But my wash and go is a true wash and go. You're more high maintenance in your wash and go than I was. Like I literally am
it's my hair texture.
Yeah.
It just requires more.
Well, no, and also I think that the look that you're like the crystallization of the look. Your curls are much more like
or it just won't be defined.
They're more uniform. Yeah. I'm actually game for having like you know, what my husband refers to as like my halo, like this, like how the fuzz comes right here, that kind of stuff. I'm just like, you know, I'm okay. I'm okay with like the bohemian natural girl.
If I don't do it right,
thing.
I really will come out looking like Freddie
I knew you were
Douglass.
going to say that.
And that's no beef to Freddie.
I knew you were going to mention Freddie.
I'm just like, it's got to be more defined, because you know why? It becomes more, it becomes more froey later on for me.
And I like a fro. I'm like, I'm not anti, like I like a fro too. So like, you know, all the things, like a true, like I used to have like a true Afro puff ball, like all the things. So I think for sure. So I think the more you can kind of embrace that like, I'm preaching as if my hair is healthy right now, but when it used to be, healthy.
More you could appreciate your fro.
Listen, Christina, the more you could appreciate it. And so here I am right now. Here I am on this street. But it's coming back. It's coming back. Now I would say I would wash my hair probably every 2 or 3 days. Like I was like, if you get in the shower, you wash it, which is why. And then before I got out of the shower, I'm putting some kind of leave-in in, some kind of sealant to your point about shaping the curls. Yeah. And then air drying. It all depends on how quickly your natural hair dries. Mm-hmm. And some people, you know, air dry. Their hair can air dry in 30 minutes, an hour. It depends on what kind of hair you got. Some people need the whole diffuser, blow dryer.
I'm sorry, humidifier. Diffuser. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've used that too. If I want a pristine curl look like you're talking about, right? Then I absolutely have to use diffuser because that will get the curls looking the same, which obviously that's a more polished look than kind of the bohemian. Just they do what they
let it do what it do. Yeah, the air dry. Yeah,
they do what they do. So yeah, and I live in a house with people who have a lot of hair. Like my children have a lot of hair.
You do.
So, and I think that's a part of why I like maybe have shifted my hair perspective over the last almost 2 decades.
When you got heads to do
is because I'm like, I couldn't do the same level of care for my hair.
Somebody's got to get sacrificed.
We got to do some, and it's usually the parent.
Usually mama. This is just what it is.
It's usually the parent. I was supposed to lock my hair for my 40th birthday, which has come and gone quite some time ago. And but that's still on the table.
That's still on the table.
Still the micro locks.
My cousin just got some micro locks last weekend.
Yeah.
She came to the East Coast to get it done.
And every time I see people with micro locks, I'm highly jealous. I'm very the covetousness is strong. I'm always like, no, but my only issue is that I like them when they're like at the shoulder.
Oh.
Which would be a while.
I'd be surprised actually.
Yeah, it'll be a couple years. Like I want that's the only thing that's holding me back. I want
to start it. You want to get where you want.
Yes, I want to be able to whip them about very quickly.
No, if I would, I think for me I like to change my hair so much. For me, the permanence of even microlocks, which I think are really beautiful, I don't think I could do it because I do like to change my hair.
Oh, totally.
Although I do know people with locks that change their hair.
Yeah,
quite a bit. They wear wigs. They'll even get braids.
Yeah,
sometimes I know.
It's amazing.
They'll get braids. They'll add. I guess there are things you could do, but I don't know.
Yeah, not yet.
I won't take it off the table, but it's not quite on the table for me because I'm like, I like to change my hair.
We'll see. We'll see. To be continued.
But yeah. So anyway, that's kind of where we are. But this is where it is. It's been good. I'm really glad that I've been able to embrace. I think again, I always say decolonization is a lifelong process. And so I've been going through that process even as I've been embracing my curls, this year. And so that's good. Mm-hmm. So even on my dating apps, which I just got back on.
My gosh.
I have stretch your hands.
Take a moment and pray.
Stretch your hands. My gosh. But I try to show my many hair modes. Yeah. But I did show a lot of this because that's what I'm rocking a lot of. But I also showed them a few other looks.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and you could get the other looks.
Yeah. And I think it's a good thing to date a man who likes you at your most natural state. Yes. Because that's what it is.
Agreed.
Like this is
because that's what you go.
This is what it is.
That's right. I agree.
This is what it is. Get acclimated with what it is.
I agree. I do. I absolutely agree with that. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So you know what? You do have your nails. You do not play.
Oh.
You don't play about your nails. You don't. That's like me and my skincare and I don't play about.
Yeah, I don't know why. But I don't know how I picked up this habit, but yeah, I'm committed.
How often?
I'm committed to nails. I think I'm somewhat almost committed to brows as well. I do like a nice brow.
Your brows are great
because that's my facelift. I feel like if my brows aren't right, then my face.
Right.
I mean,
you ain't right with
that high arch. What it does is it pulls you up.
It's
so I need my face to be pulled up sometimes.
All the years I've known you, I've never seen your nails. I've never seen what I got going on.
Regular people nails.
I've never seen you without nails.
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah.
All these years I've never seen.
I've been consistent.
You without nails.
Yeah, I do like the experience.
How often do you go?
I guess I should go every 2 to 3 weeks, probably.
Oh, okay. So how long? Okay.
But sometimes I'm there almost once a month. It just depends on my schedule. It depends on
and so yours lasts for quite some time.
It does.
Okay.
It does. Now sometimes I know that I'm hitting the wall if one of them is about to break and I'm like, oh. and my nails are also like an indication of just how crazy my schedule is. Yeah. Like there's some things about our lives, like in our upkeep, that if it goes off the rails, like my hair changing textures was an indication that I'm living a wild life. Like I need to simmer down,
Yeah.
And or diet stuff. Like if I'm eating too much sugar or if my weight starts to fluctuate, things like that let me know, okay, my life, the ecosystem of my life is not conducive to my care. It's not conducive to my flourishing.
That's right.
And I need to bend this life so that I can have, as much as I can, maximum health. Mm-hmm, and so if my nails start breaking off, that means that I have not been able to afford myself 2 hours to get in my car, get my nails done, and get back home. And that's something
is
indication,
off. That you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I just remember. I was like,
Yeah.
And then what about, let's talk to the sisters about your regular doctor's appointments.
My goodness.
Y'all, this is really, really important.
The internal health.
Especially Black women. We had a whole series called You OK Sis.
Right.
We had a Harriet Washington on the show to talk about medical apartheid. Y'all know the rates.
Yeah.
I don't even have to go over it. From cancer to HIV.
To heart disease.
To maternal
thyroid issue.
Maternal
fibroids. The list goes on and on.
Mortality. Sorry, I can't tell. All of the list goes on and on. So how important it is for us to go to regular appointments and to get checked out. And I also hear the voices, of how that can be a privileged statement. But 100%, I want you all to also look into, if you have financial constraints, limitations, out of work, Medicaid, Medicare. Look into that.
Yeah.
There's no shame. You paid into it.
Yeah, somebody did.
Go, get that coverage so that you can go and get your regular gynecological appointments. I don't think we've had an episode on that, but we do need to get a gynecologist on the show.
And there are lots of dynamic people who could talk to us about that.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So you can make sure you get your yearly exams, pap smears. Not fun. Got to do them. Yeah. Although I don't think it's every year now. Although they always changing stuff. It's every other year now. Although I think for Black women, it should be annual. With the things that we've got going. I think, I just feel like we need more care. Okay. Because of the things going on, weathering and all that. So make sure you're making those annual appointments. Your physicals, if you're 40 and up, mammogram.
Yep. Unless you're at high risk, and then your doctor will let you know if it needs to be sooner than that.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If it needs to be sooner than that, if they need to take a second look, if it's your breasts are dense, ask for an ultrasound. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Because that really matters. Take care. Y'all walk.
Yeah.
Go outside, just walk 30 minutes a day. You don't have to join a gym, to be physically fit. Mm-hmm. You can do yoga. Oh, I know this is going to be controversial for some of the saints.
Correction. You can do breathing and stretching. I don't care what you call it.
Gosh, I'm so tired. I'm like, my God.
If you don't think there's something supernatural happening, ain't nothing supernatural happening. Breathe and stretch. Breathe and stretch to the glory of God. If you want to say, I'm breathing and stretching to the glory of God, then you say that.
You say that, but please move your body.
Can that settle the yoga wars?
Settle the yoga wars?
Move your body.
I'm just like, come on, y'all. Oh,
move your body.
Move your body. Christians can't be possessed. Okay.
That's a whole topic.
That is a whole topic. Okay. Pilates. There's a lot of ways that we can move our body. I'm trying to also think strength training is really important too as we get older. I'm not saying you got to put yourself into
that's at the top tier
weightlifting competition, but move those weights, y'all. Let's up and down, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 5 pounds as you're able. Move your body. It's really good for your bone density too, because as you get older, you start to lose muscle mass. Yeah. So I'm trying to think about all the very practical things. I'm like, y'all, we gotta take care of ourselves holistically. Yeah. So not just the vanity, the outside. I don't think there's anything wrong with that personally. Yeah.
but what's inside needs to shine through. It's but so much you can do to cover up. Well, if something is amiss on the inside, and that's on a spiritual level, that's on a psychological level, and also on a physiological level, you have to care for what is inside first. That's right. With great effort. And I do think for some people, obviously there's issues of insurance limitations, financial restrictions, location, all that stuff is true. There's also this other issue. And that other issue is about whether or not you have convinced yourself, whether you believe you are worth it.
Well,
and that's a whole nother issue.
Worthiness and
and that's a whole nother issue. But part of it, what it means to agree with God and to honor God about you being created is to steward yourself well. And I'm preaching to the choir
because I give account.
Got all kinds of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. But when I decide to agree with God about my value, then I take seriously going to the doctor, following up. And even sometimes for some of us, it might be helpful to even have like a medical advocate. It may not be, it may not be something that you can even do independently. Like, get your buddy, get your doctor buddy with you, because I do think that we have to embrace this idea, this reality that we are of great value. And something that's of great value, which is you, is something that has to be cared for. Absolutely. Things that are of great value get cared for. Yes, they are precious. They are precious. And so I hope that people receive that. Along with all the beauty regimens, all of that stuff is because we are convinced that God says you got value, and we have to even answer to God for the bodies that we have and what we do with them.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, we do. We got to give an account, so make sure you're taking care of yourself as much as you possibly can. I think that's a way that we honor not only ourselves, but we really honor God when we do that. And so, take an advocate, get some support that you need. And I even said mental health. We always talk about mental health on the show too. Mm-hmm. So check your insurance coverage as well, whether it be Medicaid, Medicare, or, your health insurance through your job, whatever. Make sure to see if you have a little coverage for mental health care services. You'll be surprised, actually. You will be surprised, actually, what is available to you. And just trust God in all of that. I know that there's sometimes some stigma with some. I don't know if that's still the case anymore, but I know there were some sisters that struggled with wanting to go to an OB, for like a pap smear. It's like, oh my God, no. Listen, there ain't nothing unholy or holy about somebody coming to examine what is going on inside your body. You never know what's happening. Mm-hmm. You got to go and get examined. That is very, very important. So take a support person, take an advocate, do what you need to do. If you want a female doctor instead of a male doctor, fine, do whatever you need to do to make sure you are getting checked out. There are some diseases that we just that should be off the table and can be off the table if we stay on top of our regularly scheduled exams, so we want to grow old together. Yeah. We want to grow old gracefully. Yeah. And we want to be able to stand before the thrice holy God and say, God, this is what I did, with my body. Yeah. This is how I stewarded
with what you gave me.
With what you gave me.
Financial resources, family, education, community, and these bodies.
That's right.
I'm returning it back.
Amen. Mm-hmm. Amen. So, we're going to get some more rest in 2024.
Hello.
By God's
Come
grace.
on now.
We're going to keep our regimens in 2024.
Come on.
We're going to go to the doctors.
Lovingly, not legalistically.
Oh, no. Lovingly. Out of gratitude. Again, gratitude. Exactly. Right? Out of gratitude. And we going to go to the doctors in 2024. Okay?
Amen. Amen. Let me get my appointment together.
Exactly. And you know what? And get an accountability partner.
That's right.
To check you to make sure, did you make that
appointment? We don't do those anymore, but go ahead. Because it has the word accountability. That's
a whole episode right there.
They were like, the folks didn't like that.
We need people. We need to make sure that we're accountable to some folks that are like, did you make that appointment? Did you make that call? Yeah. Come on, y'all.
That's what care sounds like.
That's what it sounds like. It's communal. So anyway, thank y'all. Thank you for taking a seat at the table with us, y'all, to talk about rest and regimens in 2024. So let us know we want to hear about your rest and your regimens. What do y'all do? Because we need your tips.
Especially things that are cheap.
Yes, that too. So please give us, put a comment on Instagram when this episode goes live. Tweet us on, X, formerly known as Twitter. Comment on Facebook, and Black women. Please do join our Black Women's Facebook discipleship group. In order to enter that group, you need to answer a few questions, like, 3 questions tops, and then agree to the group rules, and you will be admitted. Of course, you can listen to Truth Table wherever your preferred podcast platform is. Make sure you rate and review the show on iTunes and subscribe on your favorite podcast player. We have been your hosts, Ekemini
and Christina.
We'll see you soon on the next Truth Table. Bye, y'all.